Ron G Morning Show, Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on WSAN Radio. I have the honor of having the future star. Sometimes she shake her head, no, I'm not saying yes, you are. But the things that you say, the input you have on people's lives, no better than that. As if they listen to you. That's the key. You can bring up and they really need help, you're the right person to go to. Right here, Monday with Martha, right here on WSAN Radio with DJ Ron G.
Well, thank you. What a nice introduction. I have, and we dialogued, I think about 2 hours and just getting to know each other. And I was so fascinated with what she was doing that I wanted her to come on this show today and introduce her to our listeners. And also Ronald Gordon, who is the radio host. He's the owner of WSAN Radio, who is the voice of the voiceless. He is passionate about making sure that his entrepreneurs get seen and heard. He's elevating businesses and sending them out there through the airwaves to let people know who they are, illuminating them. And I just, Dr. Mechelle Canady, I just want to introduce you to Ronald Gordon, who will be on our own, that will be, moderating for us on this show as well. And then, Ron, I'm going to introduce you to Dr. Mechelle Canady, who is located in Jacksonville, Florida, who is a change agent and a master life coach who embarked upon her journey of transformation after a pivotal moment of introspection, which I will let her tell that part of the story. She also has her own life coaching school, which I will definitely bring that up as well. I am super excited to introduce her. I want to make sure that I save all the goodies I'm not gonna read her bio out loud because it's amazing, but I want to actually let her tell her story so you can get one of the most amazing people I have ever met. And so I just want to just say thank you so much for joining us today, and just tell the world who you are and what made you become the life coach you are.
I first want to say thank you so very much, Mr. Gordon. I've heard so many amazing things about the work that you are doing in the radio waves. And when me and Martha had our conversation, she said, I have to introduce you to him. So thank you for giving me space to be on your platform. It is always such an honor whenever anyone invites you into their space. And I do not take it lightly that you agreed and you entrusted her words about me and allowing me to come to your platform today. And Martha, thank you as well. We had a conversation and we literally had to say, okay, this is the last thing. I'm gonna get off the phone right now. And we did that about 5 times. So that ended us at a 2-hour introduction conversation. That's usually like 20 minutes. And we found out that we had so many amazing things in common. And how we met was so, as some people would say, happenstance, but I would say divine, because I accepted an interview on another platform that I tried not to do, and the Holy Spirit just would not let me not show up that day. And after doing that interview, I made so many amazing connections, and Martha was one of them. As I was speaking, my frequency resonated with her, and when we met, we were definitely on the same frequency. So I look like a little girl, but I'm 50, and I remember being on having radios that you had to turn the knob and that you either had to be on AM frequency or FM, and we were both on FM frequency. So I wanted to say thank you. Now about me, I am a homegirl from Jacksonville, Florida, Duval. Yes, and I am from a location here called Grand Park. That don't mean nothing to y'all, but any of our listeners who are from Jacksonville know that means a lot. That means we grew up in the hard knocks. Now, granted, I ain't had no hard life. I ain't even gonna tell that lie. That's not my testimony. But the area I grew up in was known for being a hard life. And when they asked the question, could anything good come out of Nazareth? I often say, can anything good come out of Grand Park? Absolutely. I am a byproduct of it. I am the 15th child of my parents. When my parents met, my mom had 7 children, my dad had 7 children. I am both their age child. Yes. And my brother often says he called number 8. Uh, Number 8 has been called to a lot of things. I'm a pastor. Me and my husband, we pastor an online ministry. Our ministry is virtual. We started in 2021 in the heart of the pandemic. And when everyone started going back to brick and mortar, the Lord gave us specific instructions to stay in the way we were. What he said was stay the course. So that's one of the things I do. I am also a an author. I've written uh, a couple of books. I've written one which was my first book titled Frozen, the 3 A's, my journey to true forgiveness, where the Lord, in the midst of me going through a divorce, I had been married for 19 years to a pastor. In the midst of going through the divorce, God gave me what I now know as a coaching framework. I didn't then. All I knew is it was a word from the Lord, and it helped me to walk through the process. And it's the 3 A's, which are accept, acknowledge, and adjust. It was my framework for getting unstuck in unforgiveness. So I'm also a publisher. I published several works for other authors. I teach authors how to self-publish. The style of publishing I do is vanity publishing. So I don't own anything you do. You do all the work up front, and I just do all the work to publish it. I am a master life coach. I have 3 life coach certifications. I have a foundational life coaching certification, a master coaching certification. I recently became certified as a journal therapy coach. And I am so in love with it that I just want to throw everything else away. I just have to make sure that I stay focused because it's that other stuff that pays the bills. But I've always been a writer, but did not know a lot of what I was doing just to make it through our actually journal technique. So now I share and teach others how to journal, and journaling has helped me on a 2-year healing process. And one of the things I often say is I don't practice what I preach what I practice. So if I preach it, I can tell you it worked because it worked for me. Now, granted, that don't mean it's gonna work for you. I do know it has worked for one, and that's me. So let's see. I have a life coaching certification school. I've issued about 250 certifications since 2019. And I love everything about teaching. My natural gift is teaching. My spiritual gift is teaching. So I'm a teacher at heart. I have a degree in teaching. My doctorate degree is in divinity. Um, it's a lot. I do a lot. Like, and I am not ashamed of it because God is not singular. He has a lot of names. He has a lot of character. And I believe that because he is in us and we are creative, we have the ability to do more than one thing. We can do everything that he has given us to do. So whatever it is he give me to do, I'm gonna put my hand to it. Me and my grandbaby, we own a bakery. We bake 15 different pound cakes. I do t-shirts, graphic design. Oh, I own a digital television network. And again, whatever the Lord gives me to do, I'm gonna put my
You
hand
do
to
it.
it.
You're gonna put your hand to the plow and not, I got that. I know that's right. Tell us about this pivotal moment.
So after being married for 19 years, I had come to a breaking point where there just couldn't be a resolve. So I decided that it was time for me to do something different. I remember sitting on the side of the bed asking myself, coming up to my 40s, saying, are you going to be okay with being where you are when you turn 60? And I said to me, I was coaching myself when I didn't even know that's what I was doing. I said, no, I'm not. And I reminded myself, you are right where you were when you were 20. So at that moment, I knew if I stayed where I was in another 20 years, my life would be no different. Coming up on 19 years of marriage, all of the issues that we had year one, we were still trying to figure those issues out. So I decided, in the midst of everyone saying, don't do it, in the midst of all the church people saying, don't do it, but I heard the voice of the Lord release me when I said, God, why will you not let me go? I'm like, I've been, I will, my mama went in labor on her way to church. So I have literally been in church all my life. I preached, I teach, I prophesy, I pray. I've always, since a little girl, had a relationship with the Lord. And so I'm saying, okay, what kind of God do I serve that you're going to keep me in this marriage? And I heard the voice of the Lord say, I never told you to stay. He said, you were free to year one. You stayed. That was my release. And upon that release, it didn't matter to me what no one said. But I did not know how dark the days ahead would be. They were dark. They were challenging. There were times that I didn't want to live. There was times I tried not to live. And I remember one morning saying, okay, so if I got to be here, then that means I want to be to other people what no one was to me. All the things I was going through them by myself. Like I didn't have anybody who I could talk to, anybody who could help me navigate. I felt like there was no one who I had been connected to that will really understand and that will have a non-judgmental voice about what I was going through, who could help hold my hand. It was in that moment that I created the next chapter for me. And then it was just a inspirational group on Facebook, where I started in. At one point, when it was at its highest, I had like 750 people in my Facebook group. And I would share my thoughts, share my feelings, share my ups, share my downs. One thing about me, I'm very transparent. Um, I've always been, you ain't gotta, nobody's gotta tell on me because I'm gonna tell on myself. If I said it once, I'm gonna say it again. And if I said it, I stand on it. So I wanted no one else to go through by themselves. And that's what started my journey to wanting to be a help to those who felt like no one was there.
That happens a lot where people do suffer in silence or people don't have a support system. And we are made to be relational. We are made to connect in a way that we are able to share the love that we have in our hearts for one another. And that is a hard thing to find. And it's good that your heart resonated with that because what you've been through sent you through that on that journey where you like, I don't want nobody else to feel this feeling of being alone. And so therefore I'm gonna have that space for them. That's amazing.
And then so Dr. Miles Monroe said that you should be able to sum your life up in one sentence. My sentence is, I was created to be to others what no one was to me. Uh, Most of my businesses I started because I didn't want anybody to have the same experience I had. In 2004, me and my ex-husband, we didn't have a wedding when we first got married, so we decided we wanted to do a 10-year anniversary. And I had no one to help or support me. So after going through that, I started an event planning company where I assisted brides in doing weddings, like planning their wedding because I had no one. When I started my life coaching certification course, when I went through my course, I felt like there was a lot that was lacking. And I said, I'm going to create a course where the things that I was missing, the things that I feel like would be beneficial to others, yeah, that they wouldn't have that experience. So most of what I do, I've started it because I've had an experience going through not having anyone to talk to, made me a voice in our community to support others. So I'll say that was my holy contention, is just seeing people go through things by themselves.
Wow. So you ended up getting a divorce, right?
Yes.
And did you remarry after that?
Did you see how my whole continence just changed? So I decided, okay, I want to do the work. So I went on this journey of self-exploration, self-love, because I wanted to be healed. My divorce caused me to be a person I had never been before. I backslid. I left the church. I said I ain't want nothing to do with church or church people. I walked away and I started by clubbing, started by drinking. Like I really became this person that I didn't know. And I said, this isn't what I want for my children. I I know I want to be a light to them so that they can see, even though our lives right now is hard and complicated, it doesn't have to end this way. So my journey to healing was to be able to be a better example to my children. So I started doing the work. I started healing. I went to therapy. I went back to school. I started because right out of high school, I took a gap year. I got pregnant, got married. So it took me 17 years to go back to school. So I went back to school because I didn't want them to have an excuse for not fulfilling their dreams. So I started becoming this person. I said in my first marriage, I wasn't domesticated. Like I was the one who had the corporate America job. My ex-husband was a caterer. So he was the entrepreneur. So I didn't cook and clean because I was working. I'm like, so if I'm gonna be out working, when I come home, you need to have these children something to eat. That was how but I wasn't domesticated. So I started learning to cook. I started learning how to manage the house because I was like, I know cooking got to be somewhere on the inside of me because my mama and my sisters, they can throw down. I'm like, it got to be somewhere in there. So I connected to it. And I would tell you, my thought process was that I'm never going to marry again. I don't want no mother sons. So that included all of them. I'm finna be a nun. Like, I'm not doing this marriage thing anymore. And so I remember coming home to Jacksonville and I ended up at my former church. So, and this was during the time I didn't like church or church people, but I woke up and it was like this compel that would not let me go. So I went to the service and my pastor's former pastor, his sister got a hold of me, and all I remember is I was picking my ponytail off the floor because she had a robe across the floor. Oh Lord, that was hilarious. But it was so many things that was broke off of me during that interaction of being on the floor. So afterwards, his mom, my former pastor mom, she said, since you and bro gonna get back together, I was like, no, ma'am, unless Jesus coming down off the throne himself to come to me and say, since uh daughter, go back. That's all it was. I'm going back. So she said, okay, well, then you need to get you one and you need to stick with that one. Listen, that sat on me. And I'm like, I can only have one. I was in a free spirited moment. So
Right.
read between the lines. So I started thinking, like, if I had to pick one, like who would that one be? Like, and my best friend, her brother, me and him, we had kind of started just talking. Again, my commitment was if I found someone who was going through what I was going through, that I would be there for them. And he was going through what I was going through.
Wow.
So I was an ear, he was trying to navigate through it. And I would share with him my experiences. And he felt like a safe place. Even though he was my best friend's brother, he was much older. He was in the military, so he was always traveling. So I could literally count the times that I had actually even seen him, interacted with him, or anything. And then one night, uh, I had sent him a friend request, and he iced my friend request for like 6 months. And he said he didn't know who I was, which I was like, well, I can understand that because throughout depression, I had gained like 80 pounds. So I looked like a different person. So fast forward, I was like, I just don't have that one. So I began to, really start focusing even the more on me. And in that, our friendship started developing. And we were friends for like a year and a half. I decided to move from Georgia back to Jacksonville. And he said, I'm gonna help you. I'll help you move. So he came and moved me back to my mama's house. And standing in my mama's yard, my mama was like, "Oh, I see a wedding. I see you in a white dress." And I'm like, "Girl, my dress need to be black." And I'm like, "What are you doing? This is not making sense to me." And I'm saying to him, "Please forgive my mama. Don't pay her no attention." We didn't know she was prophesying. So,
Right.
and my wedding dress was white. So he became my best friend. He became my confidant. He became someone who I could confide in. And then after we had been friends for like a year and a half, we dated for 6 months and he proposed. And 6 months later, we were married, and that's been 9 years ago.
Oh, awesome. Praise the Lord.
And he is so amazing. And I tell the Lord all the time, how grateful I am that he gave me what I needed. Like it's like when the children of Israel picked Saul, what God's desire for them was David.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, I'm in my David era because he's an amazing person. He is 11 years older than me. He's a protector. He's a provider. My mama tell him all the time, "You remind me so much of her daddy," and that might be what got me because he
Yeah.
reminds me of my daddy. My children say I'm spoiled rotten. I
A
am a little bit, a lot of it.
lot of it.
But everything I wanted to be, I became like a wife. I'm the domesticated baby. I cook, I clean, I bathe, I do laundry. My children laugh because they be like, "We don't even know this person. You were not this way when we were growing up." Like my oldest son came home from the military and he kept going to the dishwasher to get clean dishes. I was like, "Those are dirty." He was like, "So when did you start putting the dishes up?" I'm like, "You grew up in his house. Like that's the way your stepfather kept house. So that was the way you grew up. I never kept that house." I'm like, "Here, these dishes getting out of this dishwasher. So go to the cabinet to get it." So that's how much of a completely different person I became when I started doing the work.
Well, that's what happens when we do the work on ourselves. It definitely changes us, right? Do you
Yes.
think that I would say with all of the job, with all of the things that you're passionate about, being a pastor, a life coach, teaching, all of these things, how do you juggle all of that?
So I will say this. As many of the things I do, I tell people I don't do them all at the same time. There are times and eras where things are at a different pace. So, like coming up to the holidays, we do a lot of baking. Um, Thanksgiving, Christmas, we take orders. We do a lot of baking. We do have those who order from us year round. Our We have our drop form available where you can order anytime, but the bulk of our baking happens around holidays. So we're not baking every day. Um, Being a life coach, like I have days where I schedule clients, so I'm not life coaching every day. I will say some of what helps me is having an order for my life, being
Yes.
disciplined, having having systems in place, having people in place. Like each area that I operate in, I have an assistant for that area who keeps an eye on it, who helps me to manage that area. One of the greatest gains in my life is learning that you need to delegate. So I have learned in operating different areas to delegate what needs to be done. I also have a lot of systems in place. A lot of things that I believe like touch it once. Like when it comes to scheduling, I have a platform that does my scheduling. When it comes to teaching, I have platforms that help me to manage that. There are times that I don't teach class, so I take the summer off. So we don't have classes going during the summer. We take 2 weeks off at the end of the year. We take the week of Thanksgiving off. We take the week of my birthday off. So there are things like that's a national holiday. Everything shut down. Everybody off for my birthday.
When is your birthday?
March 3rd.
Okay, all right now.
So everything is on church. Hey, we on sabbatical from church the whole week of my birthday. Like we all celebrating. So therefore, there are things that are in place. And having an order for my life. That's really when I say putting an order for my life in place has given me what I need to be a better servant to others. As a servant leader, it requires you being whole. It requires you not giving from an empty place. So I have like a daily routine. When I get up in the morning, the first thing I do is I meditate and I pray. I spend my time with the Lord. I seek the Lord first. I live by Matthew 6 and 33. I'm asking the Holy Spirit. I'm like, okay, so what we doing today? Like I'm a literal person sometimes to a default. When he says seek first, that's the first thing I do is seek him in the morning. I'll be like, good morning, God. Good morning, Holy
Right.
Spirit. What we doing today? And then I spend time with me. I journal. I do a devotional. I exercise. I go walking. Um, 3 days a week, 2 days a week, I go to the gym. And that's my time for me. I read. I do a lot of reading. I do a lot of studying. And that's when I become full. And then after then I'm able to service everyone else. And it's so funny because my staff, if they need me in the morning, they'll message me and be like, is it others time yet? Because they know I have this order in place and it allows me to prepare me for the day. When you operate on a genius level, like you have to feel at a genius level.
You
So
are so right. I like that. I like that. Say that again.
listen, when you operate on a genius level, you gotta feel at a genius level, which is why I have a nap schedule. Listen, it'll bless your spirit. I told my grandbaby that the other
My
day.
mama used to make us take naps when we were little. I hated it.
I was telling my grandbaby, I was like, remember when they used to try and make you take naps? Like now I be mad when I can't take a nap. Like my day is gonna be thrown if I can't get this nap in. And But what it does is it gives me an opportunity to refresh. It gives me an opportunity to reset because I run the businesses during the day. I do the teaching usually in the evening. Mondays is when my classes run. Tuesday is Bible study. If I'm running some type of boot camp or challenge, it's going to be on Thursday. So if I get up at 6:45, 7 o'clock, and I'm running all the way through 10 o'clock. Honestly, by 3 o'clock, I'm tired because I operate at such a level that working just from 11 to 4, I be done did more than in one day than the average person does in a week, just simply because that's the level that I operate on. Hey, but heavy is the head that wear the crown, and too much is given, much is required.
Yes, yes. So, Ron, do you want to chime in and ask anything? Because I want to make sure I honor the host of the show.
I'm excited for you. Um, we got some things in common. I do
Okay.
quite a bit of things. And when I talk to people, the things I could do, you don't do all that. You don't do all. Well, it's not for you to believe or not. I just do it, and with you having 20 different incomes coming in, Martha had taught me that she didn't know the things I could do. And I thought, oh, Ron, that's another income coming. Oh, Ron, that's another one coming in. I never looked at it like that. And now I'm looking at it like that. And now I'm hearing it from you. It's almost like confirmation. Martha been telling me some things I have never doubted what she had to say, but I was trying to figure out, when do I have time for all that? Well, always say you is 24. What's that? You always have time. It's just you have to make the time to do it. I like
But you're doing it already, so
yeah, I like what you
he's doing it, and I'm like, oh, that's another stream of income.
said. She does that. She does it all the time. So I see people. I do the same thing. Martha, tell you, I help anybody, anytime, any place. You just ask me, and I'm out there doing it. And I admire the things that you're doing, taking the time out, seeing. Don't take this wrong, getting ready to say, but seeing your faults and you turn around and deal with it. That's the number one issue. A lot of people don't see their faults. When you bring up they had a fault, they get defensive. So those are my comments right there.
I will tell you, I have a few things that I wholeheartedly believe in. One of my assistants says Michelleism. So I'm gonna give you some Michelleism
Michelleism.
to help you. So we have 1,440 minutes in a day.
Yes, we
No,
do.
nobody gets more time than anybody else. So it's about what you choose to do with your 1,440 minutes. Yes. How
Yes, it
you
is.
spend your time.
It's important.
It's very important. And I say to people all the time, like, I don't believe that there's any such thing as time management. It's self-management. You can only
Mm.
manage the things that you have control over. We
Mhm.
have no control over time, but you have control over you and what you do with it. Everything is a choice. I choose to operate these things with my time where you may be choosing to do something else. But I used to have an issue. One of the things that it's part of the rejection that I used to deal with is people will always call me extra. Oh, you're so extra. Yes, I am. This is the way the master created me. He created me extra so that I could do extra, so that I could be extra. And I'm okay with being extra. And the only reason you have a problem with me being extra is because you're not. So I'm okay with that. So I no longer get offended or bothered when people have a problem with all the stuff I do. Like, people be like, "Oh, you're a jack of all trades." I said, "But I master everything I do." So don't even
Amen.
talk of that master or none. No, Jesus was a master carpenter. Everything he did, he mastered. And so I also have the ability to do it. It's going to be at the level you decide that you want to put the work in. I read 5 books a month.
Mm.
Why? I read these books so that I can open up my knowledge and my capacity. And listen, if the Lord give it to me to do, oh, it's a wrap. I'm going to do it. One of my first mentees, she said, one of the things that I truly admire about you is if you say the Lord said do it, you do it. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it as unto the Lord, because he has given us gifts to make profit.
Yes, he has. Yes, he has.
He has given us gifts to make profit. And I tell people all the time, like I'm fluid in both ministry and marketplace. Like I can tell you how to walk down a soul issue, and I can tell you how to run down a money issue. And oftentimes it's using the same gift. It's because we have been programmed to believe that things are only one way, but honestly, nothing is lateral. Like everything goes around in a circle. I tell
Yes.
people, even when it comes to um, doing things, two things can be true at one time. Like two
Yep.
things can be true all at one time. Like I can
Yes,
help you and
yes.
make money. Come on now. I can be happy and I can be sad. And I'm a person that I believe in getting in, doing the work. As a matter of fact, next Monday is my it'll be my fourth time going back to therapy. So I'm going back to therapy because there's more work that I need to do. I suffered some traumatic things in my first marriage. I suffered some traumatic things in my childhood. So I needed to take the time to do that. So, and actually, my life is a little bit slower than it used to be, because in 2022, the Lord told me, he said, I want you to do less so I could do more.
Mm.
I'm like, Lord, you could have asked for anything, but to do less, like, I don't even know what less look like because I'm extra. So I sat for a year. Normally, I would do 30, 40 workshops, speaking engagements in a year. That year, I did two.
Oh, okay.
I taught my classes, we did ministry, and that was it. So, in doing so, I was able to slow down to pay attention to me. I Rejection was something that I had been dealing with, and I needed to work on that because it was affecting the way I was doing life and business. Because wholeheartedly, I believe that the way you do one thing is the way you do everything.
That is so true.
Listen, I'm telling you, I don't care what nobody say. The way you do one thing is the way you do everything. And if you're struggling in your personal life, nothing is an island. No situation is isolated. It's going to affect everything you do.
Every other part of your life.
Yeah.
And if rejection is something I was personally struggling with, it was going to create behaviors in every area of my life. So I did the work. Like when I tell you, there will be days, and I had to tell those who are in my inner circle, listening, I'm doing some deep diving. So I'm in a season I have nothing to give, and I need for you to help me in this season. I can't help you. I
I
can't help.
like that, the fact that you acknowledge the need, because even as coaches, we have to acknowledge, hey, I need to step back. I do it all the time. I'll step back and go see my a counselor as well. Uh, I have a support system around me, and I need that because I don't want to be on an island by myself because I wasn't created to do that. And so I go to therapy when I have to. And we have to acknowledge that within ourselves, because we can go, 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 go. But I like the fact that I like how you manage the time that you have, because what you do don't seem strenuous when you do that, because it's like it's just you just doing what you just being you. And a lot of people tell me, they don't call me extra, but they say you're doing too much, you need to slow down. But that's their perception. But me, I'm just
I
being
be
me.
like,
I'm just being me.
look, is it possible that I'm not doing too much, but you're doing too little?
Right.
Ooh,
Right,
That'd be
exactly.
my response.
yeah.
Is it possible?
And you just keep and you just being you, but it's like I like the fact I do the same thing. I take out the time to read my word. I do. I love how you say good morning, Holy Spirit. Good morning, God. Good morning, Holy Spirit. What we doing today? I like that. I love that actually. What we doing today? Because it's being intentional about opening your heart up and say, I'm following you and not following what my agenda is. And I like that, because it's important. So how long is your life coaching classes? Like, I mean, from time they start to certification, what's the length of time?
So we currently offer 4 certifications. Our foundational course is a 21-week course. We do a 5-week boot camp before you start, and then the class is 15 weeks. So you're looking at a total of 4 months and a week between start of boot camp, because I believe that we have enough wounded healers. And the way that I've done the work is what I teach other coaches to do, is to do the work. So we start out doing measurements. Here's another Michelleism. What you don't measure, you won't manage.
Yes.
So we start with measuring, like we do things like the wheel of life. I have a core belief workbook that has 50 questions in it that they have to complete. We do a circle of support. We do several assessments, because I need you to locate you. I need you to know where you are. Things look different when you write them out. You can think that you're doing really well and start writing it out and be like, I am seriously failing, because what you see depends on where you sit. So if you are sitting in a seat where you think you are okay, you don't give yourself room to improve. And then we start with a course I created titled Get Your Life, because I had to look at my shirt. Some of my shirts said Miss Get You Together, because that's who I am in the coaching arena. They call me Miss Get You Together. Uh, so,
Just get you together. Okay.
yes, ma'am. It's get you two and together. And so I wrote a course, and that course is designed to help you begin to start really looking inward at who you are. We cover things like mommy daddy issues. We do an assessment titled Where Did It Come From? Where we look at you, your mommy, your dad, top 3 strengths, top 3 struggles, and the assessment is so that you're able to identify that many of your struggles are things that you inherited, whether it was through blood or through process from our parents. We cover mommy daddy issues, abandonment and rejection, self sabotage, how to manage self trouble while helping others manage theirs. This before you even open a coaching book. You got 10 weeks worth of work, because we
To
want
get you
you
together, right?
to get you two together. Yes, because many people come with a desire to help who really need help.
Exactly.
And a lot of people aren't challenging the way people do life. I tell them there are going to be days where you are not going to like me, and I am okay with that. But one thing you're not going to say is she didn't tell me. I tell people this is what the Lord said to me. He said, there are people you are going to be a witness to, and then there are people you're going to witness to. Like there are going to be people who you're going to be able to teach them and they're going to change. But there are those who you're going to be he gonna be able to say you can't say you didn't know. Because I got somebody who will witness. Come here on such and such day. I sent you to them. So it's up to you who I become. Do
Right.
I become a witness or I become a witness? So I mean, and I believe those things wholeheartedly. So yeah,
Awesome.
unapologetic. This me, like, and this is me 24/7. Now, granted, I know how to move in and out of rooms, because God gives us wisdom. He said, "Become all things to all men that you might win a soul." So I know how to go and act like a doctor. I know how to go and act like a pastor. I know how to go and act like a master coach. But you're gonna always get the share.
I know that's right. I'm the same way. I'm just me.
Yeah, you know,
Like
And
I got one caller for those rooms I need to be in clergy. I got one robe. Other than that, I'm preaching the jeans and t-shirt.
I know that's right. That's funny though. That's awesome though. I love how like I said, I love that you're obedient to the Lord. I love your heart and how in your energy about how you go about your day and the energy you bring to your classes, the the fact that you're doing the work on yourself so that you can become what you need to become to others, because a lot of times if we don't get the help, it does go in the room of the clients and it's not helpful at all. And I remember when I was in my master's, when I was doing my master's in marriage and family therapy, we had to do the work. All of the stuff they was doing, it was intensive, it was intense. And it was like, oh, it was really pulling on us. But I kid you not, I have gotten so much deliverance in the course of those classes. It was so intense one time that one of my colleagues, I had a dream and we was going through the dream and he was getting to the heart of it. And I was like, if you ask me one more question, I'm gonna punch you in the throat. But nobody in the room could hear. But I was like, because I was like, he was breaking me and he didn't care. He asked that question, and I just broke. But it was just so intense, and you need that because if you don't do the work, you can go in your clients and you can actually ruin their experience. And but that's not what we want to do. We want to make sure that they have the best experience that they can have. So we do have to have that time to ourselves. Like Wednesdays is my day that I take a part of that day, and that's self development. That's why I do my read. Is on that day, on that Wednesday, I take out that time because I need that, because I need to be able to have my wisdom and knowledge in my cup full. When your cup full, it runneth over to everybody else. And that's really the goal, right? And so that's why I'm so excited about that.
Look, here's another Michelleism. I tell
Michelle is
myself, I said, look, this your bowl. And I make them do their heads like this. I said, everything in your bowl belongs to you. Stop giving people what's in your bowl.
mm,
You only give people what's flowing out your bowl. And I think that's what we end up doing as servants, as leaders, is that we give people the part of us we need of us. So stop
I
giving people
like that. I
a your
like that.
bowl. Yeah. And I saw my niece, she was in a class that I had taught 5 ways to dominate your date. And she told my auntie, I still have to remind myself, I'd be like, look at your bowl. Yes, because God gives
I
us
like that analogy because it's so true, and I'm gonna remind myself, Michelle, listen, look at your bowl.
your bowl. Yes, because God gives us everything we need. And He gives it to us, and we put that in our bowl. But He never told us to give people what was in that bowl. He said, I will open up a windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing that you won't
Yes.
have room to receive. He said, I'll give you all things and I'll give you everything in abundance that you need to do every good work. Like even the work we do shouldn't come from our bowl, it should come from our abundance. All right.
Yes. I love it. I love it. I love it. Who is your ideal client?
Oh, so
Oh,
look,
oh,
let me, I'm gonna tell you on all levels. Okay, so if it's a one-on-one coaching,
Mhm.
like my ideal client is gonna be that business owner who is struggling to manage life and business. Um, Ministry standpoint, the leader who has given out so much that they don't have the tools they need to be able to manage ministry and life. Uh, as the master coach, I coach coaches. So though the coaches who struggling, like them the ones I like, because I'm a top down coach. Like I like to coach those who gonna coach those, teach those who gonna teach those. That's where my area of genius is. Like because I operate at such a high level, like people who operate really low, we're not on the same frequency. I'll overwhelm them. So I'll say those who are hungry. I'm called to those who are hungry. And one of my affirmations on my mirror is I am called to those who are hungry. Hungry people come eat and full people leave.
Mm.
But I had to check that
Drop
rejection
the mic.
to be okay with full people leaving.
Drop the mic.
here we go.
Now you see.
Yes, I'm telling you, because when we are clear on who we're called to, we speak their language. Like,
Yes,
and we get frustrated and we feel rejected when people don't hear us who don't hear us. Like, that's something I really had to work out in therapy. Like, when it comes to my family, like my siblings, they don't hear me. And I was saying this to them and I was confused why they didn't get it. And I was upset because they didn't get it. But once I started working through that thing in therapy and I started understanding that those who I'm called to hear me, like even the Bible says, my sheep will hear my voice and another they will not follow. So for people who don't hear you, you're not called to them. So when I go around my family, I'm just shell. Like I ain't trying to solve nobody problems. I ain't trying
right.
to coach nobody through nothing. What you need me to do? How can I help? I,
We're just family right now.
Yep.
look,
I
and
love it.
we get mad because family don't support. Like my family ain't gonna support me.
They
Like
not gonna do
they
that.
don't
Prophet ain't
read.
welcome in his own town.
Listen, if anything, they gonna buy a cake. Well, no, that's a lie. They ain't gonna buy a cake either. They gonna ice her a cake, and that's okay. Like and big going through therapy helped me to be okay with understanding my family is not my client. Like I used to
Exactly.
feel so rejected, man. Listen, I'm the baby, and
I'm the
between
baby too. You
me and my closest sibling is 9 years. So therefore, by the time I was 9, I was in the house by myself. So I didn't even grow up with them. So we don't think alike. Like they baby boomers. I'm Generation X. I mean, it's a big difference. I'm married to a baby boomer. I know the way they think is different. So, I mean, all right, I digress.
All right, now, because I'm a baby.
now you see why we was on the phone 2 hours.
Yeah, I see that right now. Hey, I don't want to say a couple things. When you were talking about how people look at you, the way they look at you, I didn't realize, I still don't realize because I'm just being myself. Um, Instead of lashing out at them when they make a sarcastic comment to me, like somebody said to me, your problem is you just a overachiever. Instead of me latching back at them saying something negative to them, I said, I don't know how to be an underachiever. And then the other one, when I walk in, sometimes they say, you conceited. You get that confused with being confident because I get that reaction all the time. I'm not, it's just me. Martha would tell you, I'm not like that. But that's when people see me the first time around, that's the first two things they say. Now, back in my days, I wouldn't have punched him in the throat like Martha. I'd have knocked him out, but I mellowed out. And you know, because they seen something in me that I never did see, they brought to my attention. So I utilized that to my advantage.
Listen, when you're going on a journey, you start making changes. People get offended when people be like, "Oh, you changed." Look, it's me. You know this? Listen, I'm so glad you see the work I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
They
It
walk
makes a
on puzzle
difference.
like, what just happened? Like for me, it's about perspective. Like what you see depends on where you sit. And yeah, it does look like from where you're sitting that I'm an overachiever. Because you
What
sit
you
low.
see is where you're sitting.
Yes,
I
you sit
like that.
you sitting low. So you see low. I'm saying hi. And
Come up there with me. The air is
And you
fresh up
can't bring
there.
them up if they want to sit low. You can't bring them with you.
okay, look, I meet you where you at. Like, and
Yep.
it don't hurt me. Like, it only does you a disjustice because if you would allow me to be who I am, like it'll be a blessing to you. Like you're not getting the benefit of who I am because you have decided to see me low. Jesus even said that he couldn't do many miracles in his hometown. It
Mm,
wasn't because he didn't have the ability to, it was the way they saw him. See me
exactly.
low. See me low. I'm all right with it.
Yeah. Come on, Mechelle. Bring it on.
Listen now, hey, that preacher will show up, I promise you.
It showed up. Wait, the master coach showed up, teacher showed up, life coach showed
Listen,
up.
y'all done got everybody
We just,
today.
we just don't have our cake. No, I'm just kidding.
Listen,
Yeah.
I did.
If
That's the
anybody
only
know you
thing I
better,
can't give you.
the way you're coming out like that, I remember in high school, this book called Civil.
Mm-hmm.
You read that book.
Mm-hmm.
I had never seen a person with so many personalities before my whole life reading that book. I came away from that looking at everybody and said, so what are you today? Who are you next week? You know, came out like that. But you're coming out with the knowledge, the authority, the gift that God gave you and doing what you're doing. And people don't have to listen to you. But if they do, imagine what they will learn.
Yes. And the thing is, here's some of what God showed me in my time where I was sitting. God has many characters, and He has a name for those characters. Jehovah, Yahweh,
Yeah.
Yah, Jehovah Jireh, Jehovah Nisi, Jehovah Raha. Like those are personas of God. And if He lives in us, why do I have to just be one thing?
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
Nothing He created was just one thing. Everything He created it with the ability to reproduce of itself. He created it with the ability of a gift. Like, and we could, if we just if we come out of the box that people have put us in.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've always been that odd girl out. I've never been able to be boxed in. I've always been a person who did a whole lot. That is who I was created to be. And when we tune in to who we are on the inside and the many things that God has created us to do, here's one. So Michelleism. I call myself the 11 talent person. So y'all know the story in the Bible where he gave 1, 1, 1, 3, 1, 5.
Right.
The one that had 5 uh got 5 more. The one that had 3 got 3 more. The one that had 1 buried it. He took that one from the one who buried it and gave it to the one who had 10. So the one that had 10 ended up with 11 talents. Come on now, that's me.
I know that's right.
That's power.
That's right. That's what happens.
Just look, just like that.
I like that. I like that. Yeah, I know we coming on the hour, and I want to respect your time because I could talk to you for another hour, and I ain't gonna do you like that today. But Ron would be like, "What are you doing?" No, I'm just kidding. But
When the flow is gone, the chemistry is there. It seems like everything just fly by because
it went by so fast. I'm like, "Oh my God!" But the energy, I love it. The energy we had, and I just love it. I'm so grateful that I was able to meet you. I met Ron. We met on Be Awesome Network. And I had to bring her on your show because I was like, you gotta meet Mechelle. No.
yeah, I said why? I said why? And I'm not mad at you. I'm blessed to know you now, and I'm blessed that there is another strong Black woman out there. That's what I see. When you say God does things, God wakes me up at 3 o'clock in the morning like clockwork. It doesn't matter anytime. Like he'll wake me up at 3. So why'd you wake me up this time around? I come in the office, start doing something. That's why he woke me up. But God had blessed me with one thing. He has blessed me with reaching out to strong Black women, and I don't know why, but I'm helping them out doing things as I go along. And I'm like a teacher because I will show them something. Say, I expect you to learn this. I'm gonna show you the path where you need to go. If you have any problems, let me know. I'm here for you to give you a call. Give me a call. I'm here for you. But Martha, no, I'm getting ready to say, there's this young lady see out in the country. That's the first time out in the country. She got a hold of me. I went out there. I said, look, this is how it's gonna go. I'm gonna come out there and fix it for you, but you're gonna help me and learn. You're gonna learn how to use the power tools. You're gonna learn how to do all this. So it was a teachable moment for me to show her everything. And now this girl gone. She just does everything by herself. She calls every once in a while. But one thing she won't mess with is electricity. But when God instills something in you, you need to spread it out. You don't need to keep it inside you like it's the best kept secret. You need to share it with everybody. Yeah. And that's what I like doing. I'm doing is sharing. And because my mom was a strong Black woman. And I learned from them that a strong Black woman could take care of her family. Because it always falls back on the woman anyway. I don't care what any man will say. It falls back on the woman. If I'm wrong, then y'all let me know, but that's just my opinion.
We agree with your Ronism.
I like that.
Now, she gave me a now.
Ronism, I like that. That's funny. So tell our listeners, how can they reach you?
So you can reach me. So I'll run it down. Facebook, Instagram, TikTok at Miss Get You Together. That's MRSGET, the letter U, the number 2, GETHER. Miss Get You Together. On all social medias, also on YouTube, Miss Get You Together. You can reach me by email. I was say by info. You can reach me by email at Coach COACH Mechelle MECHELLE at Embrace EMBRACE the number 4 YOU.com, and that's Coach Mechelle at embrace4you.com. That's how you can reach me. Please follow me on all social media. You can also follow me on Facebook at Confab Digital TV Network, and that's CONFABDIGITAL, the word network, on Facebook, and you'll be able to connect to our digital television network. It's available on Roku as well as Amazon Fire TV. That's how you find it.
I need to pick somebody's brain.
That's all.
Yeah, so Ron, if you didn't get it, Well, I will definitely connect you to, if you don't mind, Mechelle. I'll connect you to Ron
Absolutely.
and definitely send him all of your links and he can put it in the YouTube video. And we definitely thank you for coming on and we for sharing your wisdom and knowledge. I had so much fun with you again. And I told her she gotta meet Catherine.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Definitely got me.
Can't you see it? Can't you see it?
Yeah, I see it. These two together. Oh boy, the world ain't ready for these two.
That's the same thing Martha said.
I said the same thing. I said, oh my God, them two together.
I'm talking about it. So she didn't tell me anything.
I didn't, but I kid you not, I wanted him to see for himself, but I never told him I never said she reminded me of Catherine. I said, wait till he finished hearing her. He gonna, oh, them two together. The world ain't ready.
We're gonna put y'all two together. Matter of
That's
fact, I have to get a panel with everybody one time on a Saturday on a Zoom call and just get everybody on here and just if it goes over an hour, I'm good with that. Doesn't make me no difference.
let's do it.
But knowledge is power.
3 Black women on the panel. Or more, because he got so many that he know.
Yeah. You know the panel we had that time, Arthur, when
Oh, yes.
had what, four Black
4.
women?
Yeah.
Just invite all us in the room.
All us in the room.
We need you, Ron. So get up, invite us all in the room.
Be careful what you wish for.
You're gonna blow and you're gonna be like the Tyson fight and blow the network up.
Listen, it's all right. If we mess up one, we got another one over here. We can do.
Right, exactly.
I hear you.
We need to do that, but we need to connect and we need to work together as a team, and that's really what we like to do. We like to work as like a family.
Yes.
We family.
Yep.
So thank you so much. Any last words, Ron?
Thank you. Mechelle, you brought Mechelle on. I got some positive things from her today. I got my own trials and tribulations I'm going through right now. And with you seeing all you saying, it seems much brighter what I'm gonna end up doing because I already know what I want to do. But it's just a matter of getting there. And I'm
know how to reach him. I was blessed too. I was blessed as a coach. I was blessed. I love what you're doing. I love the fact that you raising other ones to do the same. So that's nice. That's nice. If I'm ever in Florida, I'm looking you up.
Listen, you ain't gotta come here, girl. I come down. We can meet in the middle.
Yeah.
What we doing? Like,
yes, I liked it.
Let's do it.
listen, have
Let's
bags
do
will travel.
Love it.
Well, all right. Well, you guys enjoy y'all Monday.
Okay.
And Mechelle, we would definitely chat.
Let's talk. Let's talk. I got some ideas running. I'm gonna have to go journal some of them out.
See, Ron, you got another one on you now.
That's all right. That's all right. That's God's will.
It takes all of us, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. So I'm gonna definitely send him your number and y'all so you guys can connect.
Awesome.
And then I got to get you on my podcast. I'm trying to think if I want you on there with Catherine and all 3 of us on there, but I got to make sure.
No, that podcast is gonna be 4 hours.
Stop.
I'm gonna let you know. And let me know when you do that.
We can edit it into 30-minute episodes, and that'll give us a whole season.
That's true. That's true. We can do a series.
Episode 29.
Yes. I follow this guy on TikTok, and he be like, episode infinity.
Oh,
and just so you know, just so you know how congruent she is, I see her walking on Facebook. I see her at the gym. I
Listen,
love it. Keep doing what you're doing, and I'll be
I let
cracking
people
up.
do. I let people do life with me. I'm liable to go live doing anything because
She doing. I love it. I'll be listening. I'll be cracking up.
I mean,
I'm
look,
like, check her out.
walking, arguing with my dog. My puppy is rude. Like that's why I was still on my face when I logged in. I was like, let me put her in this cage so that she'll be cutting up while I'm trying to be great. Cause sometimes she be trying to stop me from being great.
Yeah. Ain't no stopping us now.
Mm-mm.
Well, all right, you guys. I'm so full this morning. I'm so grateful. I'm just happy. I love it. This has been a wonderful, wonderful conversation.
Yes, it
I've
is.
enjoyed it. I look forward to it again.
Absolutely.
Right.
All right.
That being said, y'all take care and we'll make connections this week.
Yes.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you, Ron.
All right. Goodbye.
All right.
Goodbye.
Ron G Morning Show, Monday through Friday from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. only on WSAN Radio.